I did. I re-wet the back and
Re-wet the paint.
yeah,
I never did that, but that's cool.
that is almost essential.
That is.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Every day you
It
do.
should be goopy.
Well, if you're painting.
Every day I'm going to be painting. Yes. Sometimes I do it the night before. Close this lid. It has a little seal, and then the morning before I paint, maybe 20 minutes before. Also, yes.
That's awesome.
Some of these paints they like to harden. I use Viridian, I like how it granulates, but I don't like how it hardens. Right, it's sort of famous for becoming hard and chalky. So I actually mixed it with honey,
What?
which is an
Honey?
honey's an agent that you can use. They like sommelier uses honey as their binder. So I took like literally a drop and I mixed it up.
Wow.
And I had some on the palette. I used it up and I put the other one in there and it hasn't hardened. It's been
No
great,
kidding.
right?
Wow.
I don't use it for other pigments because some of them get too gooey.
Yeah.
But for something like Viridian, which is so famous for becoming hard, it was great. It's been nice. I've been using it ever since.
Huh.
Did you know to do that, or was that just an experiment?
I did. I did know that you could do it, and I did do some research about it. And now my paintings taste good.
Ooh.
So,
Drink tea when I paint.
yes. So we're going to start at the top and work our way down. And we are going to paint the mountains. And wet into wet, we're going to paint the trees into the mountains. And we're going to paint the barn negatively. Right? So the roof of the barn is not to be painted. We have painted it already. Right? We're going to make it appear by painting everything around it. There'll be little details like this rim where there'll be a shadow cast underneath this rim, and there'll be little details like part of these little structures on the roof. Those will all be things that we do paint just to provide some little texture to grab hold of. But we'll be painting it negatively. And we're going to paint this rudimentary fence in the foreground and the grass. And the grass is all calligraphy. It's just playtime. And the goal is, it's interesting to see the record of the body moving through the painting. And then hopefully by then, these mountains will be dry enough that we can put these orange dollops in there to get a highlight for the grass seeds on top of the mountain. That'll be the sequencing. If I do it too soon, it blows up, right? So we have to wait a little bit, which is why the mountain goes in first. And just like with the body that I just painted, where we were softening some of the edges to integrate the shapes, we're going to do the same thing on this. I don't want to have it be like a razor's edge along the horizon. We're going to connect the shapes. We're going to connect the shapes by softening the shapes. So, here's the blue. I have ultramarine blue mixing with gunk. And I'm going to drop a little bit of purple in it because I'd like to grab the flavor of these clouds. And the goal always is, to me, to not belabor the point and make it too exact, right? And we have mountain range, right? Don't do it too quick. The thing is, what you learn is there are areas where you gotta be detailed, and there are areas where you can let it roll, right? So I'm getting down to the barn now. I can't be messing around and, being all fancy with my brush. Right. I gotta be tight in this little area. So I'm gonna come along and I'm gonna cut the edge of the top of the little structures that are on the roof.
Okay.
And then I just switch my brush. So I daub it off. Don't want too much moisture. There we go.
Cool.
Go back to this larger brush. But you gotta switch your brushes. Sometimes we switch the brushes because we want them to do different things. Sometimes we switch the brushes because the shape is smaller. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be painting a small shape with a giant brush.
Right.
It's difficult. Yes, Julie? I could hear your question. Heidi. Did you have
There we
one?
go.
No,
Okay.
it's all a question right now.
It's also
So
perfect.
I'm painting the barn negatively, right?
Mm-hmm. And some trees over there? Is
I
that what you-
will, no, the trees will be a positive shape.
I see.
So,
Gotcha.
right, the barn is there, right?
Cool.
We're gonna do some nuance, the barn's not done,
Right.
right? But this is the idea of the barn. Don't like this roof line. And then I need the barn to have an eave. I'm gonna shrink the barn. There we go. Now I have an eave, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these little ways to sort of try and integrate the shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all very wet. So now I can play within this little painting
Mm-hmm.
inside of it. If I want to do things like, I'm gonna drop some orange in here on the top, and it's gonna run down. It's gonna be more diluted, and it's gonna give us the effect of some sort of light on the surface.